In your headlines, COVID cases in the TCI are steadily climbing. The Royal Turks and Caicos Police Force signs MOU with the ATF, and residents and visitors are reminded to continue to protect themselves against the COVID-19 virus. From the PTV Broadcasting Headquarters in Providenciales, your number one source for news, I'm Erica Pinales delivering the latest from across the country this Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, right to your door. Newswatch starts now. In this story, COVID cases in the Turks and Caicos are steadily climbing, going from as low as 11 during this month alone up to 70 as of Tuesday. Let's take a look at the numbers.
The December surge in COVID-19 cases is being seen again this year, much in the same way it increased in December 2020. Earlier this week, the Ministry of Health advised of one new COVID-19 related death, bringing the total number of recorded deaths to 26. Currently, cases in the country stand at 70 active, due to a massive leap of 30 new cases in just 24 hours. With 52 cases at the start of the week, the dashboard held steady for some 3 days. The month started off well with just 19 cases. It dropped to 11 a couple days later. Then as mid-December arrived, a steady rise since that time. Some are seeking to cast blame on the influx of visitors into the country in the past few weeks. But there is also speculation that the lack of a curfew may be adding to the rise in cases. With this in mind, the Ministry of Health and the police force have been issuing non-stop warnings for both residents and visitors to adhere to the country's COVID-19 protection protocols.
We all need to do our part. Let us stay alert, avoid large gatherings to reduce the risk of infection. Wash your hands frequently, wear a mask, and stay 6 feet apart from others when in public places. Stay home if you or anyone in your household has symptoms of COVID-19 and call the hotline. Let us all stay safe.
Meanwhile, a travel advisory and level 3 warning remains in place for the Turks and Caicos Islands. The government is encouraging everyone to enjoy the holiday celebrations, but not to let their guard down. In light of the Omicron variant, which is spreading at a fast pace, it is advised that everyone practice the usual health protocols, namely, wash or sanitize your hands frequently, social distance, and wear your mask that covers your nose and your mouth, especially in small, enclosed spaces. And as for residents especially, protect yourself and take advantage of the availability of the COVID-19 vaccine booster shots as soon as possible. For PTV News Watch, I am Delana Isles.
On Monday, December 20th, the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive Agency agreed to a partnership by signing a Memorandum of Understanding. Newswatch brings you more. From a press release, we've gathered that the MOU signing took place at police headquarters on the Airport Road, Providenciales. It was signed by the Acting Commissioner of Police, Mr. Kendall Grant, and the Chief of ATF International Affairs Division, Mr. Joshua M. Rusk. The press release entails that the MOU is a form of mutual commitment for both agencies to share information relating to firearm offenses. Members of the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force will be able to submit firearm traces to the ATF National Tracing Center and also receive firearm trace results immediately via the system. Said press release reads, commenting on this MOU, Mr. Joshua Russ said, the ATC RTCIP E-Trace MOU signing is a stellar example of how U.S. Turks and Caicos Islands bilateral cooperation promotes mutual safety and security. He added, we expect this to be the beginning of successful ATF joint efforts to curb illicit firearm trafficking in the region. Our relationship will no doubt continue to be strengthened and thereby provide increased safety for the people of both nations. The above-mentioned release states that, quote, Acting Commissioner of Police Mr. Kendall Grant stated, today another milestone will be marked as we strengthen our relationship with our international partner agencies in securing our borders. The signing of Memorandum of Understanding will see greater cooperation between the U.S. Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms Agency and the Royal Turks and Caicos Islands Police Force, end quote. Finally, the press release ended with elucidating, quote, through this combined effort, we now have that resource to support our efforts against illegal trading and smuggling of firearms within our borders. I wish to express thanks to ATF on behalf of the Force Executive for partnering with us in building safer communities within the TCI, said Acting Commissioner Grant, end quote. It's time for a quick break. When we return, more News Watch.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. We were informed a few weeks ago that Pfizer had produced a COVID-19 pill to treat mild cases of the virus, while the FDA has approved the drug for emergency use. Take a look.
The FDA on Wednesday authorized the first at-home pill in the treatment of mild to moderate COVID-19, shown to reduce the risk of hospitalizations and death by a whopping 89% when taken within 3 days of the production of symptoms. The drug, named Paxlovid, is approved under emergency use.
I think it's a game changer because right now one of the biggest problems that we are facing it is that when we have peaks of this disease, when we have the waves that are coming, the hospitals are really crowded, and that creates significant issues to the healthcare system. Right, with this pill, we are expecting that instead of 10 people going to hospital, only 1 will go, and actually no one is dying. So these are very, very good news.
The pill is formulated to treat mild to moderate cases of COVID-19 in adults with positive results of the virus who are at high risk for progression to severe COVID-19 and those who have been clinically advised against the use of COVID-19 treatment options authorized by the FDA, who say the pill should be taken as soon as possible after diagnosis of COVID-19 and within 5 days of symptom onset. Officials say Paxlovid, which is a combination of a new antiviral drug, nirmatrelvir, and an older one, ritonavir, is administered as 3 pills given twice a day for 5 days. CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, says the pill is not a substitute for the vaccine.
Vaccines are needed. Vaccines is the primary frontier that we should be using to stop the disease. The goal is not to get sick and then hopefully have a medicine that can save you. The goal is not to get sick. And not only you not to get sick, but to prevent sickness from your kids, prevent that you get sick and then you transfer that to your mothers, to your fathers, to your parents. It's very important that people will take the vaccines. And for those that are unfortunate, that despite that, or because they didn't take the vaccines, they are sick, of course now we have something that will save a lot of lives.
Officials say high-risk individuals aged 12 and older weighing at least 88 pounds who have tested positive for COVID are also eligible for this treatment. However, they would need to have it prescribed by a doctor. The company Merck has also today received emergency use authorization for their COVID-19 pill and has entered an agreement with the U.S. government to supply 3.1 million courses of the drug molnupiravir.
This holiday season, Caribbean visitors and residents are reminded to continue to protect themselves against the deadly COVID-19 virus. More in this report.
Spread joy, not COVID, this festive season. This is the advice of the Caribbean Tourism COVID-19 Task Force to everyone in the region at this time of year. Both visitors to the Caribbean and residents are reminded to continue to protect themselves and the health and lives of those around them by practicing sound safety measures while celebrating the spirit of the season. The task force commends the overwhelming majority of Caribbean visitors and residents for their role in contributing to the region's successful efforts to date to contain the spread of COVID-19. However, they caution that the coming weeks will be critical to the region's ability to control the virus's spread and its highly contagious variants, which are spiking around the world. COVID-19 and the newest variant, Omicron, can easily spread at large indoor gatherings and wherever people come in close contact when they are not protected. The task force advises that face coverings, physical distancing, frequent hand washing, and avoiding large gatherings, particularly with unprotected individuals, should guide behaviors during this season. While those who are fully vaccinated have far greater protection against severe illness and death than those who are unvaccinated, the public is reminded that everyone, both vaccinated and unvaccinated, can still catch and transmit the virus and should diligently adhere to health safety measures. The task force reminds that the pandemic has forced residents to adapt and adjust the ways they gather and socialize, advising that the holiday season may be the biggest challenge yet. By remaining mindful of the highly infectious nature of coronavirus, residents are advised that they can still enjoy the holidays while protecting themselves and those they love. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Isles.
We'll be right back when we return your weather forecast. Sister Craft Market Souvenir Shop. Come and visit us for your travel keepsakes, keychains, artwork, t-shirts, clothing, jewelry, and many more. We're located at the Lower Bight gas station in Providenciales, and you can contact us at 649-341-3070. That's 649-341-3070. Sister Craft Market and Souvenir Shop.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. Here's the latest in your weather forecast. Here's your weather forecast for December 24th, 2021. On the nation's capital, Grand Turk, on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 75, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 80, low 75, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And on Providenciales on Friday, mostly sunny skies, high 79, low 74, winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now for your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:25 a.m., sunset 5:14 p.m. And for your high tides and low tides, high tides 10:45 a.m., 11:15 p.m. and low tides 4:27 a.m., 5:07 p.m. And that's it for your weather forecast. We'll be right back with more News Watch.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Next up, we bring you a rundown of some incidents that occurred across Provo in this latest crime update.
Three very serious incidents within 2 days. A man is being treated in hospital after being shot in the leg shortly before 4 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Officers responded to a report of a shooting near Miracle Close in Blue Hills. When they arrived, a 33-year-old man informed them that he had been shot in the leg by a man who was unfamiliar to him. The man told officers he and the assailant had a verbal altercation before he shot him and fled. He was taken to the hospital for medical attention. Some hours later, around 9 p.m., a 38-year-old man called 911 and reported that he was approached by two masked men while in the parking lot of a business establishment. He says the men, armed with cutlasses, demanded his wallet and cell phones. The victim was unharmed. A day before, another incident that now have police on the lookout for the driver of a silver Toyota truck after a hit and run on Saturday. Police say at around 7:30 p.m., EMS arrived to an area along the Millennium Highway where they found a man lying on the road with injuries to his head. He had been hit by the truck, which fled the scene. He was taken to Cheshire Hall Medical Center where he is being treated for that head injury. While the license plate number of the silver Toyota is unknown, anyone who may have been in the vicinity or has any information regarding the incident is asked to report to police. Newswatch encourages residents to continue to practice extra vigilance during the holiday season, as well as to continue to adhere to COVID protocols.
So many interesting stories have emerged this week, but here's another one that made this edition of Newswatch. Karen DeVoe, president of the Roadrunners, and Joan Hagan, vice president of the club, communicated to Newswatch that the extensive 200-mile land and sea excursion was put in place to benefit several charities found here in the Turks and Caicos.
And because it doesn't just specifically benefit one charity, it benefits several charities here on the island. And it's all the nonprofit organizations, from everything from dialysis to cancer to mental health to everything. So we really wanted, it touched everybody. There was some charity that really touched everybody in our organization, and with our team, they were just so excited to be a part.
They also explained that independently, they've hosted walks to highlight the foundation they wanted to target.
Yes, the cancer walk that we had in October 16 to be exact. What we did, the group of us, Provo Roadrunners, the executive board, we decided that we wanted to do something a little bit different during the month of October, which would encompass every type of cancer, rather than just focusing, say, on breast cancer. You know, we wanted to look at all of the various types of cancers. So what we did, we walked using or wearing the different colors, the various colors that represented the different types of cancer. And if you were to pass along the road while we were walking, we would have looked like a nice, lovely rainbow because it was so many different colors. Everyone just walked in a color that represented the type of cancer that maybe touched them in some way, because all of us, most of us, somehow have been touched by cancer. Someone we know, a family member, or some of us ourselves are even battling cancer.
Hagen further revealed their experience with being involved in the Footsteps for Good excursion, covering the land segments of said mileage.
Saturday was the kickoff, and we left from the Children's Park, and we went down to Emerald Point in Leeward, which was literally, it was 6.1 miles, and so you could run, walk, cycle, do whatever. And then on Sunday, some of us went over to North Caicos. We were on a ferry, which was wonderfully donated by Parrot Key. And we went over, I think there was probably from Provo about 20 to 25 people from here, just from Provo. And we went over at about 5:30 in the morning. And once we landed, we were met by the DC and off we went. And we started in Benfield and we ended up in Mudgeon Harbor, which was, for us, some of us, did as far as we could, which was 16 miles. But Mrs. Dakin and John Gallimore and Mrs. Dakin's son, Fraser, did the entire thing, which was 23 miles. Wow. And yes, there were many blisters, many sore legs, everything. Yeah.
Karen expressed that for the future, the Provo Roadrunners also hope to expand and do greater things within the club for the benefit of more charities and foundations here in the Turks and Caicos.
Definitely. I think that would be a part of our growth and development. Right now, we basically do a lot of walking on the island of Provo. Recently, we've had collaborations with folks in North Caicos. We have a team over there that walks with us occasionally, and we've also collaborated with.
Like they do we'll do the same events, like the walks runs here, and they'll do the same thing over there at the same time.
Right, and we had it done in Grand Turk as well, right, especially during the Father's Day walk. So yes, going forward, I think that would be something very exciting to get into. Walking on the various islands and taking a team from here to the various islands and meeting up with others on those islands and walking and just getting everyone involved in moving.
They reveal that the Provo Roadrunners Club is always welcoming new members to join their team of accountability, and they also gave Newswatch an insight on the status of the Footsteps for Good excursion.
Well, for Provo Roadrunners in particular, we would love to see the Roadrunners grow, the club grow, and that can only grow by persons coming on board and joining the club. We walk basically every day, most of us 6 days a week. We take a rest day, of course, and most of us rest on Sundays. However, mostly on Saturdays now, especially since the pandemic, that is when we come together as a group. And we walk from one location to the other, and we would normally post our routes. So what I would say to the public is keep an eye open, keep an ear open so that you can know when our next route is posted so that you can take part in it and just come along for the fun. And don't be intimidated thinking that, oh, they're runners or they walk 10 miles a day. What we do is we wait with you. We don't leave anyone behind. So you would always have that support walking along with you. If you're a new person, new to walking, we will walk with you until you say that you can't go any further.
Exactly. And then as far as the Footsteps for Good, they just made the trek from Grand Turk to Salt Key. They're having a rest afternoon, and then they'll continue on their journey. They will be back here in Provo. They're leaving on the 16th from West Caicos by paddle or boat back to Sapodilla Bay, and then they'll continue their journey walking from Sapodilla Bay back to the kids' park. So anybody who could come and join part of the walk or just be at the end would be greatly.
Them on.
Yeah, to cheer. They deserve this.
That brings us to the end of this edition of The Real News. I hate to leave you so soon, but of course you can join us right back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m. and tap into our social media platforms at www.ptv8tci.com. I'm Erica Penales, wishing you a happy holidays, keeping you informed, updated, and affiliated. Until next time.